This 1 Degree Outside video is sponsored by the Topsfield Fair, America's oldest fair. You can pre-order your admission, meal, and ride tickets today at topsfieldfair.org and join the fun October 4th through 14th, conveniently located on Route 1, just off of Interstate 95.
Hi, Matt Noyce. You know, this is quickly becoming one of my favorite segments that we do here at 1degreeoutside.com, and that is our photo segment and fall foliage segment. The photo part of that's going to go on and on. The fall foliage is on a limited time as long as nature is going to put on the show. You know, last week, I encouraged you to send along your pictures, and you can do that via the community gallery on our homepage, 1degreeoutside.com, or with our app in that Send to Us tab, so you can grab a picture right with your phone or take it off the gallery and send it in. So many of you have done that. We're going to take you on a journey overseas. Also going to throw in a little question and answer segment. I thought that might be fun, and this is a good place to be able to fit that in. So many of you ask questions of us each time, so we thought, all right, let's try and find a place to answer a couple of those questions, right? So we'll do that after we get through the photos. In terms of the foliage, let's go ahead and dive right in. I will unceremoniously take myself off the screen as I usually do. And here we go. All right, let's start out with that foliage view where what we're talking about right now is high color that's expanding not only through northern Maine, but look at that up and down the spine of the Green Mountains as well, at least in the higher elevations. Parts of northern New York. The moderate color has come down through the Berkshires into parts of Litchfield County, Connecticut. It's trying to reach down through the Monadnock region as well into central Maine, much of the whites and presidentials, and the low color. I talked last time about the fact that the dry weather has added some stress to the trees, so low colors ahead of schedule. That's the case deep into southern New England, even across the canal into parts of the Cape right now. Again, keep the pictures of the foliage coming. We appreciate those of you who do because it helps us to keep that map accurate. All right, great photos here. How about sunset from Barrington, New Hampshire? John, thanks for sending this in. You know, it's so funny. I was just talking with my son yesterday. He's a freshman in high school, and we just were talking about how much earlier it's getting dark, and it's really getting noticeable now. Do you know we're losing 2 minutes and 50 seconds per day of daylight? Now, it's coming off the front end, coming off the back end, both. As an early riser, I can tell you that Danielle and I both are noticing on that early end, but you certainly are noticing in the evening as well. Joseph, your 10-year-old has a talent here. Yeah, Joseph says, taken by our 10-year-old of our American flag in our backyard with the setting sun. Look at that, the combination of the color, the texture, and the color of the flag, not just the color of the sunset. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing this. And please thank your 10-year-old and invite them to keep sending photos along as well. New Bedford Harbor, Massachusetts, you know, getting into the time of year we get the long shadows late in the day, but you also get these beautiful, colorful sunsets as well, and this is fantastic. Sarge 681, appreciate you thinking of us. All right, you ready to travel? We're going to start out at Livingston, Montana, and we only get farther from here. Seriously. This morning, Mountain View in Livingston, don't know where it is? It's in south central Montana. It's just north of Yellowstone National Park. You say, oh, they must get the snow early in the Front Range of the Rockies. They do, but not the next few days. They're going to actually be about 85 to 90 out there. Some pretty big heat that comes into Montana over the next few days. Meanwhile, let's keep going. Out to Alaska now. Nikiski Cook Inlet. You know what, Tim? Thank you for sending this along. Timothy, appreciate it. There is a weather observing station right there. That weather observing station also has a tidal station with it. And if not for that tidal station, I would never have known what you probably learned and what you can actually see on the right side of your picture up against the shoreline there. There is a 14 to 20-foot range between low tide and high tide at Nikiski Cook Inlet over the course of any given day. That's kind of remarkable, just outside of Anchorage, Alaska. Let's keep going. Let's go overseas. We're going to Japan. That's right, Bill, Mount Fuji sunset, taken by Bill's daughter-in-law on Sagami Bay, southwest of Tokyo, also known as Sagami Gulf, Sagami Sea, a tsunami-prone area, but nonetheless, that gorgeous sky that we see here in New England, just a little bit different skyline with Mount Fuji off in the distance there. Thank you very much, Bill. We invite everybody. Keep the pictures coming. Again, you can do it through our app. You can do it through our website. All right, but that's not all, right? Because I said I was going to do a little bit of a question and answer session. So this question that I have for you here comes in from Karen. Karen writes in out of Dennisport on Cape Cod. I'm going to take you to a map here in just a second. Karen says, Florida is expecting a 10 to 20-foot storm surge on its western coast with Hurricane Helene, and people are getting ready for flooded homes. And, Karen, this is the case in northern Florida from the Panhandle running around the bend, all right? What does this much water, asks Karen, mean to Cape Cod? How far inland would we be flooded? Is there a way to show it based on real locations like West Ennis Beach that a lot of people know? Thanks. Karen, thank you. Appreciate the question. You know what? I'm going to answer the question with information, because there is one thing to be able to actually show you or tell you one thing or show you what the map would be. It's another thing to show you how you can look at it for yourself. This is a map right here. This comes out of a division called the Massachusetts Office of Coastal Zone Management. All right. You do a search for that on Google for Massachusetts Office of Coastal Zone Management. You'll find this map, sea level rise and coastal flooding viewer. You say, well, I don't want sea level rise. That's all right. You can see in the menu here at the top, you've got sea level rise, you've got mass coastal flood risk model, and then you got hurricane surge. That's what I clicked on. Watch this. You ready? We can zoom in to any spot along the Massachusetts coastline. Now, I would encourage you, if you're watching from other states, try this in your state. See if you got the same thing. Massachusetts has done a great job getting ready for this. It uses what's called the slosh model. What's a slosh model? Basically, it takes the kind of modeled or anticipated strength of a hurricane and then puts it on top of the ocean water and says, okay, if this hit at high tide, here's what your worst case scenario would be. So you asked about Dennis, West Dennis, Dennisport. Karen, I can zoom right in and look at this. You can get right down to the street level. You can see Category 1 is light green. Category 2 is darker green. Category 3 is the yellow. And a Category 4 hurricane would be the red, and we don't even want to know about a Category 5. But you can see exactly what streets would be inundated. You don't just have to do this for Dennis. You could do this for anywhere along the Massachusetts coastline, including the islands. I encourage you to check it out. Again, it's one of those things that once you know about it, it actually really is empowering because it gives you a chance to spend some time looking at it and see what it would be like in your neighborhood. And hopefully we won't need to know it for a long time, but we know that history says someday we will. So I'll give you a heads up. All right, that's the way it looks for now. If you have questions, of course, you can send them along. Contact at onedegreeoutside.com. If you like these photos, contribute to them. Be one of the gang. We'll look forward to your pictures. And, of course, as I mentioned, you can always send them in via our website, too, on our community gallery page. Danielle and I both really appreciate you continuing to send them along, and we always appreciate you following onedegreeoutside.com. We'll look forward to seeing you with weather updates again over the week and see you again with another one of these segments next Thursday. Take care.